everyone, it's me, Demetra Kaye of the Demetra Kaye Show here on YouTube and a proud contributor of the African Diaspora News channel. If you could do me a favor and please subscribe to all channels and like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. So before we get started, I want you to watch this video.
Love and lots of prayers from this community as well. The family says they are now trying to raise enough money to have a funeral service for each of the family members.
All right, so what you saw there was the testimonies of people who knew some of the victims that were murdered over a $1,400 stimulus check. So again, Malik Halfacre, the alleged shooter, went to his daughter's mother's house, Gentarius Moore, and demanded half of the stimulus money. She would not give it to him, but then it says at one point in time, she did agree to give him $450, told him to take it or leave it. Guess that still wasn't good enough for him. And so the next day, he comes back and tries to get the money from her, take it from her. It said that he was rifling through her purse, and then her brother Daquan, who was also murdered, tried to stick up for her and told him, no, you're not going to be taking any money. Then Malik takes out his gun and commenced to shooting him and three other family members. And those family members were identified as her 7-year-old daughter, Eve Moore, her brother Daquan that I just mentioned, her mother, 44-year-old Tamika Brown, and her cousin, 35-year-old Anthony Johnson. They were all murdered, and Gentarius was shot in the process, but she survived. After Malik shot the family members, he snatched up the baby, took off with the baby, and it sounds like he was trying to take Gentarius as well, but she was able to escape because he being Malik, returned to the house to get a milk bottle for the baby. So Gentarius was able to run to a neighbor's house to get help. They called the police, and then 24 hours later, they apprehended Malik. He was hiding out in someone's attic there in Indianapolis because I guess they were tear gassing the residents, and he ended up going up to the attic to try to escape the smoke, but he couldn't. So thank God they apprehended him. Now, it should also be said that Malik had a history of violence. Gentarius's brother Lorenzo said that in 2017, Malik was arrested for shooting a man 5 times. And then in 2018, he was released because he took a lesser deal, and he was released out into the public. Now, her brother Lorenzo also said that Malik was very lazy, did not work, and all he did was, lay around all day doing nothing. And so he decided that he would go and try to strong arm Gentarius for the money. And again, she didn't give it to him, and you guys know the story. 4 people lost their lives due to the extreme ignorance of Malik Halfacre. Just extreme ignorance. And, I know some people who are listening to this, especially hearing of Malik's checkered past, will, think, well, why would she end up with someone like that? Why would she do that? And, I agree. I thought the same thing. I know somebody's also thinking, well, she should, women need to start making better choices because that's a thing now. People are blaming women for, ending up with a bad dude. And I can go on and on about that, but I won't today. So, yeah, she could have made better decisions, but she didn't. But that still does not mean that 4 of her family members should have been murdered and she should have been injured over a stimulus check. Now, unfortunately, we are going to be hearing more and more stories about people being harmed over stimulus money, which is, it does something to me just to know that there are people out there that would harm somebody or take somebody else's life over something that doesn't belong to them via the stimulus check. Now, I did have a conversation with someone in Chicago that says that they've been hearing about elderly people who are being robbed of their stimulus money. The vulnerable, the weakest people, some of the weakest people, physically in our society, the elderly are being robbed for their stimulus money. And like I said, unfortunately, we're going to hear more and more of this because, you guys know we're in a pandemic. which is why the stimulus money is even needed in the first place. But what do you expect? Now, I know there's some people in society, even if there's not a pandemic, they're going to do dumb stuff, right? But this pandemic is creating, especially here in America, a situation where people are out there just doing all kinds of silliness due to a situation that wasn't created by them. You have people who are looking for money to survive, and then you have a government who has the means to do it, but they're dropping off checks every, 6 to 7 months for people who are already in a desperate situation, if you will. And so it's going to get a lot worse. But I will say this to you guys, check on your people. Check on the elderly people. Stay close to them and make sure they're okay. Make sure they're not sitting ducks for people like Malik Halfacre, who will want to go prey on them because they have their stimulus checks and they're a little bit weaker, if you will. Check on them. Check on your people. Make sure they're okay, because I'm just fear that this is only the beginning. But yeah, 4 people have lost their lives in Indianapolis over stimulus money. And this man, Malik, will be either, I don't know if they have the death penalty there, but he's definitely going to spend the rest of his life in prison over $1,400 that he didn't even get, from what it sounds like. So anyway, you guys, let us know what you think. Do you think this is going to get worse? Are we going to start hearing more and more stories of people being harmed over their stimulus money? So anyway, you guys, for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on YouTube. Peace.